Welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia. I'm Clay, and today I am talking about a guy that I'm actually really excited about. This is Transformers Studio 86 Junkheap. There we go. There's the packaging for him, and I always want to call him Scrap Heap. I don't remember. Was the last Junkion that they did called Scrap Heap, or was that Junkheap? I don't know. I get it mixed up in my head, but nonetheless, it is Junkheap, and there he is. The Studio 86 packaging is much plainer than the Transformers Legacy or the Transformers Kingdom packaging that we've seen a lot of, and it's not bad. It's just it's very stark. You've got black. Yeah, everything's on black with just the Transformers name here and the name of the guy here and Studio Series and 86 number 14. See, that gets a little bit confusing for me because the Studio Series normally would be like Studio and then there's a number. And the number refers to the character, but because this is the Studio Series for the 1986 Transformers movie, then it just says Studio 86, and then this is the 14th character from the Studio 86 line. It's kind of weird and inconsistent, but nonetheless, we have a very nice illustration of the character, and if you look at the side, you see a close-up of his face, and it says Voyager class, Class A Voyager, Voyager Class A, Class A. It can't do that. I can't read all that, but nonetheless, it says all this stuff, and at the top it says 86, and then little tiny print 14. And then on this side, you have a larger version of the illustration, which also looks very good. And then on top, it says Transformers, the movie. And in the back, you have the product shots, which also look very nice. They have them posed nicely. No clever mistransformations or anything to try and hide any sins. It's just guy in a dramatic robot pose, guy folded up and turned into a motorcycle, and of course the Studio Series comes with a cardboard backdrop in the packaging that makes it look like he is in this case Junkion. There's also a whole bunch of legal gobbledygook here and some gobbledygook down here, and that's the packaging. So let us move on from that, and here we have him, and this is what having Junkheap is all about. I mean, anytime that you have a motorcycle transformer, the thing that we as fans really want is we want to see the motorcycle mode being ridden by another transformer. And so we've got Junkheap on top of Wreck-Gar in his motorcycle mode, which is pretty much what we saw in Transformers the movie, where the Junkions would attack, and half of them would be in motorcycle mode, and the other half would be riding on top, swinging axes and brandishing other weapons. And then when they would wreck, the motorcycle would transform, and the robot would transform, and then they'd swap positions. And here it is. This is proof right here in the beginning of the video. We are proving what everybody wants to know. Can he ride himself? And the answer is yes. Yes, he sure as frick can. Look at that. Yeah. And he looks great doing it. I mean, that's awesome. That is really cool, and it makes me happy to see it. It makes me happy to do it. So right there, that's like this is the reason why you want this guy, and it works. So I don't know if there's anything more to talk about. Yeah, sure, there's more to talk about. Let's put him back in front of the camera, and we will continue to talk about him. There's a little bit of a shadow on the face. Let's see if we can fix that. We've got a ring light there, and boy, that makes it bright. Ooh, that's terra bright. Let's maybe turn down the. There we go. We'll turn down the exposure. That's a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much. All right, so there we go. Turn down the exposure, but add more light. That's what we'll do. And there, now you can see him in all his glory. And so you see that, of course, as a Junkion, his colors are very similar to Wreck-Gar's. And, as much as I like this, I am going to take him off of Wreck-Gar. I kind of hate to do it because it's so cool seeing him on Wreck-Gar in Wreck-Gar's motorcycle mode that I just don't want it to end. I just don't let it end. I'm begging you, don't let it end this way. I'm so sorry. I apologize for what just happened. I don't know what came over me, and I'm going to try to make sure that it never happens again. I apologize. Anyway, so here he is in his robot mode, and we'll get him out of motorcycle sitting on stance. There we go. So, yeah, we'll get him into standing stance rather than motorcycle sitting stance. And we've got Wreck-Gar's axe thing, which is pretty much completely identical to his axe thing. If I get these swapped, I will not know the difference from one to the other. The gray plastic is pretty much exactly the same tone. So and so is the orange. So yeah, there's really no difference in the weapons. And honestly, does that even matter? Same with the wheels. The wheels, if you notice, like we've got a yellow wheel hub with orange nubs and a gray hub. And if you look, let's go ahead and pull out Wreck-Gar's wheel and just make a comparison here. Notice that Wreck-Gar's wheel is exactly the same. It is just like there is no difference whatsoever in tone, in color, in form. They are identical. So that's something to be aware of. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It is what it is. So Junkheap is, of course, a retool of Wreck-Gar. They took a lot of Wreck-Gar's. Oh, stop. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? They took a lot of Wreck-Gar's geometry and then they changed some things to create a unique figure. But obviously, there are a lot of similarities, as well there should be. He is a Junkion. And the Junkions have kind of a specific color scheme of muted yellows, reds, and browns, and gray, and that's that's their look, and I like when characters that belong to a particular subgroup have a cohesive color scheme that communicates very effectively. Hey, I'm one of these guys. I think that it adds to the identity of the characters and just makes it a little more fun. So one thing that I like to do with this guy, this is not how the instructions say that it should be, but this is what I do. I like to take the little piece here, and I fold it up and then do that. And just to kind of free up the arm. Yeah, it means that he has a very long spike there. But I don't know. I kind of like having these panels out of the way of the hands. So I just kind of turn the elbow to the side, pivot it up to the upper arms, and then let his forearms be free. He likes to roll up his sleeves. And so I like to do that. That's just a little thing. I think that that part of the design to have these on the forearms is just to help him be more distinctively different than Wreck-Gar. And so that's one of the things that they did. They have these kind of covering over these so that his arms look distinctly different than Wreck-Gar. But either way, it adds a different dynamic to the character, and he looks very good. So just going through the robot mode of Junkheap, we've got a head. He's got like ear thingies. Look, he's got ear thingies, and those things move pretty much for the transform, but you can have them back, you can have them out, whatever you want to do. It's your toy. You get to do whatever you want with him. His head swivels, it looks up, it looks down, so he's pretty much got a ball joint on it for a neck, so that's very nice. The arms are on a they've got the shoulder pivots outwards, the arms rotate up and down. You can get a 360-degree rotation out of that. He's got an elbow. He's got a bicep swivel, which is very nice. So great articulation on this figure already. Wrists pivot, the waist. Not only does it have a swivel at the waist, but there's even a joint here. And I realize that this is primarily here because of the transformation, but it gives him a lot of posability. He can kind of hunch himself over and be like, whoa. Some other guys got an axe and he's like, whoo, and he's like, whoa, don't try and slice me, bro. And he can do that because he's got the articulation to do it. He's got these kind of saddlebag things that are on his hips, allowed the legs to come out. Now with the tires on the knees, it does kind of inhibit his ability to do the splits. He can do the splits. Look at that. He's splitting. The camera doesn't want to focus in on it, but he's splitting. Yeah, look at that. Ow! And it does. That is definitely an ow. But if you don't have those on there, then yeah, look at that. I mean, he is disco-tastic. Look at that. Oh man. And now if I have the ankles out to the sides, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah. And then, of course, we've got a swivel on the thigh. We've got a knee that goes in both directions. And the feet also pivot. So we've got the feet that go that way and that ankle tilt, which is really just like the sole of his shoe has a tilt. It's not so much his foot, the sole of the shoe, but it still works for what it's supposed to be. It's an ankle joint that allows him to put his legs in neat different poses and still have his feet planted flat on the ground. And that's great. That is really fantastic. Of course, you can take these wheels and you can sort of try to put them on there. These pieces get in the way of doing that, so they hook on there, but not securely. They're just kind of laying there. I mean, you might as well just have them hanging by one of the spokes because it doesn't really work. You can do it. So yeah. Now, unfortunately, sadly, there's no place on the shoulder to attach the wheels to turn them into Psykill. I know I'm as disappointed as you are, but yeah, you can't do that. So yeah, sticking these on the knees is really what you do, and it's fine. It looks good there. Once again, it's another thing that helps make him distinctively different than Wreck-Gar. And that's what's important when you're doing a retool. that's supposed to be a different character, especially the challenges of a retool for a character that shares a very similar color scheme. How do you make it look like he's a different dude? And the way that you make him look like he's a different dude is by being able to reconfigure the way that he transforms in his robot mode so that he has a little bit of a different silhouette and some distinctively different features. The head sculpt is very nice, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's here you go, camera. This is your opportunity. Don't let me down. Look at that head sculpt. That's nice. He's got a very nice head, and his face is distinctive. He doesn't look like Wreck-Gar at all. He looks like a bro. He looks like he'd be like, okay, Wreck-Gar, whatever you want me to do. Like whatever you want me to do. You want me to be a motorcycle for you? I will be a motorcycle for you. You want me to swing my axe for you? I will swing my axe for you, because that is the kind of dude that I am. I am a straight up Junkion dude, and that's where we roll. So yeah, I like the head, unique chest sculpt. They have done away with the boob blasters and instead given him some really cool piping around here that looks great. Again, the colors and the paint details look awesome on this guy. They have been generous with the amount of different paint details that they've put in places. You can see where they've used that orange on the eyes and on the spiky bits on the shoulders. And then the chest here is painted, and they've also got the yellow in the shoulders, the yellow on the arms. Let's go ahead and kind of pan down to the arms. That looks great. They've got another orange detail in the stomach here, and then the combination of different colored plastics that they use in the rest of them, between the grays, the browns, the dark of the wheels. It all comes together for a very distinctive and cool looking figure. And so, robot mode, I love this guy. He looks great. He's a lot of fun, and he's very solid. That's the other thing that I really, really like about this guy. More so than some of the deluxe class from the Studio series, he is weighty. He is robust. He feels solid. His joints are tight. It feels substantial, which I guess since he is at the Voyager price point, then you would certainly hope that he is, because Voyager toys are not cheap. But yeah, the level of articulation and the level of detail make this a really, really nice figure to have. And, I wish that I would love to see more Junkion figures. Although, personally, this is just me, and I've been kind of feeling this way for decades. If you're going to do Junkion figures, Wreck-Gar included, the joints, like the limbs should come off and be swappable with other Junkions, so that you can build your own characters and have his arm come off and then replace it with some other guy's arm and make your own motorcycle modes and stuff like that. I mean, come on, this stuff writes itself. They're made out of junk, so they come apart, and then you can put them together with other guys, and maybe you come up with something that works, and maybe you come up with something that's complete garbage. It doesn't matter. It's a Junkion, and it's your toy. But yeah, so Hasbro, I want to be able to just and then take Wreck-Gar's arm and that's what I want to do. So yeah, that is Junkheap in his robot mode. Let's go ahead and take a look at the transform, because that is important. He is a transformer after all. So let's see if I can remember how to transform him, because I've had a lot of distractions over the last month. I've actually had this guy for for like, oh, I want to say 6 weeks, maybe longer, and I've been trying to get to this video, and it just hasn't happened due to a lot of other circumstances. So we're doing it. All right. Let's start by we're going to pull out the back. So the back pulls out just like this. And you can see that we've got a windshield up here, and we're just going to kind of pull that. And notice that the windshield is on a pivot, so you want to pop it out and open that up. And then we're going to tuck the ears back, and then we're going to pull the chest forward like that. All right, so we've done that. Now we are going to take the arms, they're on these shoulder joints, and they are going to come in, and we're going to swivel them backwards like this and straighten out the arms. Let's just go ahead and straighten out the arms. So we'll straighten out that arm. You can see that I straightened out that arm. So we've got those, and they're pointed back in kind of a Superman pose. And then we're going to start to swivel them around this way. Let's go ahead and take the arm panel, and we're going to, for the time being, I'm going to put it forward like it's supposed to be when it's in robot mode. I think that's going to make the rest of this easier. The other thing that we can do is flip in the fists. I probably could have started with that. So we'll flip in the fists. There we go. And now we are going to pivot these inwards like that. All right, so you have those in there like that, and now we are going to rotate these out like this. And you see we're rotating the shoulder out like this so that everything can go underneath here. And we're doing a lot at one time. So as we rotate this down to get the shoulders underneath the body of the motorcycle, we are also rotating the arms so that they stay forward, and then you've got the front end of the motorcycle like that. Now we're going to take the body here, and see, I probably should have done this first. Let's open that up. Let's take his head and his chest, and we're going to put them up. Come on, you can do it. Here. See, this is on a linkage. So we want to extend that out and then pull that up like that. And tuck the head with the ears back. Tuck that whole thing up inside the front end of the motorcycle. Just like that. And now we close these under. And now we can deal with the back end. So we're going to straighten out the pelvis, and you see how this is all extended here on this linkage. So we're going to take the feet and we're going to point at the toe. We're going to bring the feet forward. And oh, one thing that I almost forgot. This is important. So wait here. There is a wait, no, I think that this is correct. Is it correct? I think it's correct. Oh, I see what we're doing. Okay. So. Oh. Darn it. So, let's see. This goes back here like this. What's interesting to me is that these little tabs here, I thought that they stayed to the inside. Oh, no, those tabs do stay to the outside. So here's what's going to happen. There's a little hole right here, a little slot. And the tab on the shoulder is going to go into that little slot right there. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So, you got the little slot right there, the little tab that's on the shoulder, and that's going to go in just like that. Now, we're going to take the arm panel. This is going to swing around, And here, let me show you. On the inside of these panels, there's a little slot right there, and that is going to slot into that little tab. There we go. See, I was wondering, you know, I was wondering what these tabs were for, and now I remember what they're for. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to pull this panel around, and it's going to circle around, and then and this can go under here. Go back under there. Go back under there. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. There you go. So there we go. And then we have this back here, and see the little shoulder tab goes into the slot in the end of the foot, just like that. And now we straighten that out and line that up and tab that in. All right, so there we go. And now we take one of the wheels, we stick in the front, and then we put those together. And see, here's something that they did that's really nice. These wheels are on an independent hub, so when they peg in, the wheels still spin freely, and that's really nice. Now we're going to take this wheel and we're going to put it in between the knees. Once again, yeah, not that dissimilar from Cykill. Just saying. I know some people out there are like, you can't talk about Cykill. He's a GoBot. GoBots aren't Transformers. Well, you know what? Hasbro owns them, so I guess they are. At this point, they are all part of the same family. So we're gonna put that together. There we go. That's nice. And then all the things that got dislodged while I was making that adjustment, I'm gonna reconnect. And so we'll put that in there like that, and then get that there like that, and then we make sure that this, we do need to straighten this out. That's important there. So, and then everything that I just did became dislodged again. So there we go. Oh wait, no, almost. Come on, get in there. Get in there. He's fidgety. All right, and we also have these little panels in the legs which pull out and act as a kickstand so that he can stand up and not fall over. And then of course you can take the axe weapon and you can plug it into this little hole in the back, and it'll sort of stay there. But there you go. He is now a motorkickle. Look at that. He's a motorkickle. I know it's Cykill, but so all in all, a pretty cool motorcycle design. Let's just zoom in here so you can really see him and appreciate all that's going on here. So they've got a lot of neat things. What they've done is you can see that they've got these panels kind of filling in the gaps here, and he's still got the saddlebags. He's still got the spiky things. He's got a nice Harley Davidson style gas tank, and you know, the front of him looks really cool. Now let's just compare him to Wreck-Gar here. And you can see how with the changes, you know, they added these side panels here, how much that changes the look. And then the chest panel here that kind of changes the look of the front end here. And of course, Wreck-Gar's weapon wants to come out of the back. Now, one thing that I have noticed with this guy, and you know what, wait here, I think that I need to set this back a little bit. Come on, you can. There's a couple little pegs there. There we go. And now once again, I've just undone everything that I did before, so I need to get it back together. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So So there, now his front end, there are a couple little tabs here that peg in to the forearms, and you can sort of see that in the camera there. So you look at the front end of these guys, and you can tell that there's similarities, certainly, but Wreck-Gar looks distinctly different than Junkheap. And that's good. That's what you want. You know, they don't look like the same character, and you can see that there's a lot of similarities, but there's actually, you know, uniquely molded arms, uniquely molded chest, you know, the side panels versus no side panels, the geometry in the legs is the same, but the paint apps are different. So, you know, especially in the upper body, it seems like that's where they devoted most of their changes when they were changing up the molds to make the different character. Now, one thing that I'm not a fan of, if you look from the side, you see how the chest does not meet up with the gas tank. It's just like there's just this triangular hole here. And you can see all the way through it. Look at that. Look at that. Look, I can see Wreck-Gar through that hole. Let me move him out of the way. Yeah, you see, you know, like those pieces just don't match up. And when I noticed this, I thought, well, that's really weird. Does Wreck-Gar do that? And so, you know, of course, I pulled out Wreck-Gar, and yeah, Wreck-Gar has the same issue. You can even see how everything rotates around this pin here, and there's no way for this to match up with this because of the way that the hinges are built. I don't know why that is. I would think that that if they knew that it was going to be that way, then somebody would have corrected that. But yeah, the pieces just don't go together at all. They just don't. And now that I've noticed it, I can't unnotice it. You know, I guess the obsessive compulsive tendencies make it so that every time I look at it, it's like, oh boy, that's so glaring. Why does it do that? Why? I don't know. I don't know. It does. Look, I can see you. I can see you right now through this hole, and it's so there is that. So that is the one criticism. No, this is one criticism that I have is I just don't understand why the geometry of these pieces is not made to go together. But it just don't. If somebody knows some kind of a trick that where, you know, am I mistransforming it? Yeah, obviously that was a pretty clunky transformation. You know, I probably should have practiced before I did this review. But nonetheless, that is how it goes to my knowledge. I guess I could look at the instruction. Even when I looked at the, you know what? Wait, here. We're gonna. Let me just. I don't normally go to these extremes, but for you, I'm gonna go to this extreme. We've got the instructions right here, and let's just take a look. Okay. Oh no! Look! Even in the product shot, right there in the illustration. Okay, wait here. There it is. There it is. Look, they even draw it with the gap. You know, my camera doesn't want to. Come on, focus in, camera. Focus your efforts. So, yeah. I guess, you know, I would think that the camera would at least want to focus on my finger. You webcam, you're even worse than your cousin. Okay, wait here. We're going to go to the other camera. There. We're going to go to the other camera. Okay, so there it is. There's the image, and you can see right there. Right there. They even draw it with the gap. So, yeah, this thing is properly transformed, and it has a gap, and Wreck-Gar is exactly the same. They both just have this place where the chest does not meet up with the gas tank. I don't know why. I really feel like that could have been corrected without a lot of issue. But I mean, getting past that, this is an awesome looking motorcycle. I mean, they both look great, and the differences in colors and the differences in the remolded parts really make this look like a distinctly different character than this one. So you know, it's absolutely a success. The only other thing that I'm going to point out, they use a smaller diameter peg here, and then in robot mode you can peg it onto his back right there, and in vehicle mode you can peg it on there, and it just does not hold that well. You have seen me drop these things like a dozen times throughout the course of this video. They just fall off all the time because the peg just doesn't hold that well. Why didn't they just use the standard 5mm peg? Like he's got places for 5mm pegs. You could have put a 5mm port there. You could have put a 5mm port there. You could have put a 5mm peg there. I don't know why. I don't know why. I want to know why. Please tell me. I don't know. I want to know. I don't understand. I mean, it functions. It just doesn't function well. So that being said, and who knows, this might be Wreck-Gar's now. I don't know. They've both fallen off like a dozen times. So, you know, now they're forever mixed up, and that is very, very unsettling to the obsessive compulsive tendencies in this noggin. So getting beyond that, right? Okay. I'm past it. I am past it. Junkiep overall is awesome. It's a great toy. And the fact that you can transform one of these guys into robot mode and have him ride the other guy is excellent. It's what we've always wanted, and I love it, and he looks great, and he feels great, and playing with him is fun, and if you don't have the obsessive compulsive tendencies that I do, then little gaps like are shown in this picture are not going to matter to you, and you can just appreciate how brilliantly of a designed toy this really is, and it is. So even though I've thrown a lot of shade over a couple very, very minuscule details, I still love and highly recommend this toy. It's fun, it's cool, and especially if you are a fan of the 1986 Transformers animated movie, then you want this. You've always wanted it. You probably want two of them, although, you know, at the Voyager price point, you probably are only going to get one. I mean, you know, you already got Wreck-Gar at that price point, and this guy is functionally the same, even though aesthetically very different. And so, yeah, that's my review. I think it was a favorable one. So if you like this review, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you know when we're doing Short Circuits videos like these, which we typically release throughout the week. Also, you'll be notified when we're doing our live streams, which typically happen every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern United States time. Come in, join the live chat. It's lots of fun. We will say hi to you, and we try to respond to comments. And admittedly, the comments go way more than we can respond to. And eventually, I have to actually talk about whatever the topic is. It's just one of those things. But still, we try really hard. And so, for that matter, if you are in a position to help the channel grow, consider our Patreon. We do have different commitment levels with different rewards like stickers and buttons and exclusive content, which is our way of saying thank you to all of our patrons. We really appreciate the help. But don't take it from me. Take it from our very special guest. That's right, it's the Chaos Bringer himself, Unicron. Unicron, come on out here and thank these people proper.
Thank you, patrons, our ultimate retro heroes. Thank you, Fetchbeer, Robes, Matt White, Starhound, Setsune Wave, John, Hope and Michael D, and Colleen. Thank you. You're probably wondering if I was going to ask for something to eat. Well, I'm not. I'm dieting. It can happen to robots too, you know.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Unicron. Whatever that was. And so, yeah, Junkheap, despite me ragging on the little peg that you have in the back of your axe, and despite me ragging on you having a gap between your chest, and oh, thank you, Dudley. Dudley says hi, by the way, everyone. I still really like this figure. I mean, I really do. And I think that if you get him, you're really gonna like him. And since I've already warned you about the little things that can be annoying, thank you, Dudley. Then now you know, and maybe you won't be bothered by it. And if you think that I just need to let go, then please let me know in the comments. Just say, Clay, let it go. Just let it go. The cold doesn't bother you anyway, although the cold does bother me. I hate freaking winter. So, but that's a whole different subject. So, Junkheap, he's awesome. And so that's my review. This is Clay telling you to keep it Retrobot. Yeah, just let it go, let it go. I don't know the words. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I don't even know how that song goes. I don't have daughters. I saw the movie. It was good. I have cats. Yeah, that's one of them. His name's Dudley. He likes to talk. Yeah, I know. I told him.